story with how my parents met. So both my parents were actually born back east in Maine. They grew up in really small towns. They both spoke French and then learned English when they went to school. The towns that they lived in were right next to each other. They're also right on the border of Canada, so Canada's pretty much 5 minutes away. It's kind of hard to make plans because there's an hour time difference, so it confuses me. But my parents met at a dance when my mom was 15 and my dad was 16. They just introduced themselves, said hi, nothing really came from it. And then the second time, they were actually brought on a double date with mutual friends. And that's where they kind of got to know each other a little bit more. And so my mom went on another date with a different guy a few days after, and she decided that she didn't like him and she wanted to date my dad, so she called my dad back, and then they started dating, and they dated throughout high school. So my dad graduated a year earlier than my mom, and the kind of trend in my dad's family was my dad has 7 brothers, and after each of them graduated high school, they all moved out to California. So that's why my dad's side of the family lives out here, and my mom's side still lives back east. So my dad moved to California, stayed with his brother for a little while, and then my mom stayed back, obviously, and finished her senior year of high school. And they stayed in contact. They wrote letters to each other, and I actually found one of the letters like a couple weeks ago, so that was weird to read. But and then my dad asked my mom, do you want me to come back for your prom or your graduation? And my mom chose graduation, so she went to prom with someone else. My dad came back. She kind of picked her up, and then she packed all her stuff and moved to California with my dad. So when they first got out here, they stayed with my dad's oldest brother for a little while, and then obviously they both got jobs, and they moved around, had roommates, and then when my mom was 25, my dad was 26, they went back to Maine and got married, because my mom wanted to get married with her side of the family, and then my dad's sisters were still there, and my grandma. So they got married, and then they came back, and they ended up working with my dad's other brother at a company. They worked there for a long time, and then 5 years after they got married, my mom got pregnant with me. And I was supposed to be born on October 25th, but I was late, so the doctors asked my parents, oh, do you want your baby to be born on Halloween? And my parents were like, oh yeah, that would be cool. Like, whatever you think. And then apparently the doctors thought my parents were joking, so that's why that didn't happen. And then I ended up being born 2 weeks late on November 6th. And yeah, that's my first story.